Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at an electrical circuit probe. The folks at VDIAGTOOL contacted me and asked me if I'd like to take a look at their new V200 vehicle circuit probe tester. And I said, absolutely. That'd be terrific. Send it over. I'm familiar with those. And I said, why don't you send me two of them so I can give one away? And so they said, sure, no problem. We'll send a second one over. So stay tuned for more details later in the video about the giveaway of this VDIAGTOOL. In fact, I may be giving both of them away. But stay tuned for that information. Let's get back to it though. This is a review video. This is not going to be a how-to video. This is just an overview, introduction, and review of the tool right now. Now, before I open it up, I'm going to mention a few specs about the tool that they wanted me to mention. And then we'll get into it. I'll put this up on screen so you can see it easier. It says it supports 4 working modes: DC voltage with a resolution of 1/10 of a volt, AC voltage, resistance, and diode. Performs voltage and polarity testing, continuity testing, signal circuit testing, activating components, and testing trailer lights and connections. Component activation generates activation signals to the tested components and locates short circuits in the vehicle quickly. Sensor signal circuit testing uses the AC voltage mode. You can test sensors and signal circuits and test the resistance of various sensors and issues. Then compare those values to the factory specifications. The circuit probe kit has a built-in short circuit protection. When it gets overloaded, it'll shut down and restart, which is a safety measure to protect the device and the components from overload. A 20-foot extension cord allows you to reach from the rear of the vehicle and test the entire electrical circuit system easily. And for your reference, the accessories of this unit are as follows. So it comes with a fairly long cord on the tester itself. It comes with battery clamps to hook up directly to a battery. It comes with a 20-foot extension cable, which makes it nice. You can get from the front of a pickup truck all the way to the end of a camper trailer if you're testing trailer lights pretty easily. It comes with a cigarette lighter adapter if you don't want to clamp onto the battery. It comes, of course, with the case, the box, the actual probe tip itself, and the user's manual. And I have found that user's manual is fairly well written. And some of these modes that they mention on here, I've never actually used it for. But the instructions in the user's manual is pretty clear. If you wanted to, venture off into using, testing sensors and signal circuits and stuff, the instruction manual that comes with it is pretty good, it seems like. Okay, let's get into this thing. Of course, it comes with the tester. Nice long cord, all coiled up with the tester itself. Comes with the extension cable, coiled up. Comes with the battery clamps, cigarette lighter adapter, the probe that goes into the end of the tool, and of course the owner's manual. Like I said, I looked through this, and it's fairly well written, fairly easy to understand. And so, for example, if you wanted to use it for signal circuit testing, you could follow these directions and get it to work for that purpose. Like I say, I don't use this tool for that type of thing. I mainly use this type of testing tool for taillight wiring and trailer light wiring. This is not the only type of electrical tester that I use. I use testers like this. I use multimeters. I use standard test lights. I use incandescent light bulbs in a socket with bare wires so you can tell if a circuit can carry amperage. But this is just another tool that you can have in your toolbox for doing electrical testing. The more tools, the better. And I have used this style of electrical tester for years. In fact, before VDIAGTOOL contacted me, I had always been using the Prob brand of tester, and I recently drove over my old circuit tester and had to buy a new one. And so therefore I have the Prob here, and I can tell you that they come with the exact same accessories. cigarette lighter adapter, battery clamps, extension cable, tool itself. So I'm going to power this thing up, and we'll do a couple examples. We'll do a couple quick little tests with it here. And I'm going to use the battery clamps because we're standing right here by the truck battery, and we'll get the rest of it out of the way here. So what you do is you just take the other end of the cord, match up the polarity, plus to plus, negative to negative. In fact, it can only go one way because of the shape of the plug. Plug that together. Put your positive on positive, negative on negative. And now the tool powers up and it shows 0 voltage. Now, if I was to touch this to negative power, it's going to show green, and that means I've got negative. If I touch this to positive power, it's going to show me red, and that means that I've actually connected. So on a standard test light, when you're only connected to hot, and then you can only detect ground, or vice versa, you could take your test light probe normally and go to ground, and then you could test hot. This style of tester is already set up for testing both. So you can go around and touch anything and tell if it's a ground or not. You know, I can touch this bolt here and it'll tell me that it's a ground. .6 volts. Now another thing you can do, say you're trying to figure out, power up, you're trying to find a short in your, let's say your taillight wiring for an easy example. If I've got a light bulb here, and on the back it says A, B, and G for ground. So this is a 2-filament bulb. This tool comes with a little cable that comes out of the side here, and it's kind of wrapped up in my, hold on one second here, let me get this unbundled. Okay, so coming off the side of the tool is this little wire with an alligator clamp on it. And that would be my external auxiliary ground. So no matter where you're working under the vehicle with this thing, you've got a decent ground that you can hook onto anything if need be, instead of trusting a rusty bolt or some piece of rusty metal. So I can hook the ground onto the ground wire on this socket, and now if I put, this thing will inject either 12 volt positive or 12 volt negative. So because we've got a ground hooked up to this wire here, if I just touch this probe here and then hit the switch, it'll light that bulb. I don't know if you can see that. If I touch the probe here and then hit the switch, it'll light the light. And same with the other one, the other filament. It'll do, I could do them both at the same time if I needed to. But let's say I had, let's say I was working on something like some old dome lights actually were positive ground and they had switched negatives, and I wanted to see if the dome light was working. I could go up to the dome light circuit and I could hit the negative and send ground out of this tip, and I could power up something that has a negative trigger or a negative that needs negative to power up the circuit. So you can either send out positive or negative out of this tip. So that's what I mainly use it for. I will say again, you have to be very careful when you use this on modern vehicles that have ECM or computer-controlled things like, power rear view mirrors and power windows and anything that is controlled nowadays, fuel pumps, anything that's controlled by the ECM. Back in the old days we had, positive hot wires going to switches, just dumb switches. And then from the switch, they'd go out to the window or the whatever the case may be, to the power, to the fuel pump or whatever. Well, now the switches are connected to the computer, and then the computer sends out the signal to the device to turn on. So if you're in there, you know, sending 12-volt power all willy-nilly to different things underneath your dashboard or inside your driver's door or wherever the case may be, and you're sending 12 volts where it ain't meant to be, you know, maybe on a 5-volt circuit or something, whatever the case is, you can get into trouble real quick. But you know, like I said, these things are awesome. It tells you the voltage. It'll tell you the polarity. You know, you can turn things on and off. You can send power out of the tip. It's more than just a negative, you know, basic test light. And it'll do AC. It'll show you some wave patterns and whatnot on the screen. And like I said, I don't get too deep with it for that particular function. But these things are great. Anybody who is doing basic electrical work all the way up to sophisticated electrical work on automotive systems or cars, trucks, whatever, this is a must-have tool in your toolbox. And like I said, I've got the Power Prob version of this, and I've played with this a little bit, you know, before I went on camera, and I can tell you that this passes all of my tests, and it's a worthy device. If you're in the market for a circuit probe tester, you know, be sure you take a look at this one. You know, and considering that at the time of this video, this one's half price of the other one, it's not a bad deal either. I don't mention prices in videos because videos can stay on the internet for years and years and years, and prices can change daily. But there'll be an Amazon affiliate link down below if you want to see what today's pricing is. Feel free to check that out. And also, like I said, I plan to give either one or both of these testers away. I'm going to do a video here in the near future. I got to get caught up on some other videos first, but there's going to be a second video about this tool for the giveaway. But it's going to be open to everybody inside the United States, and there'll be no purchase necessary. There's nothing required. It's not a contest. It's going to be just a giveaway, and so it'll be a totally random giveaway. But make sure you're subscribed for that. And make sure you've got the bell rung so that when that video comes out, you won't miss it. And the last giveaway that I did, you know, the odds are pretty good that you can win because, you know, not very many people are entering these free drawings, and therefore your odds are pretty darn good. It's worth entering. And one last thing here, I forgot to mention. There's a button here. And that goes between the different menus. So you got voltage, you've got alternating voltage, and it'll tell you the frequency and the min max and stuff, which is pretty cool. And you've got your resistance, your continuity test. Let's see here. So that'll do your continuity test, and of course you got your diode test. And it'll tell you resistance. So definitely worth having. Be sure to check it out. Anyway, folks, that's all I have for now. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.